This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our partner, Audible.
Yes, it is. So we are partnered with Audible. That means that if you are looking just to check it out, you don't want to put your card in and just take the dive. You can get 30 days for free on us. If you go to audibletrial.com/JATG or click the link down below, you'll be taken there. You can sign up for 30 days for free and just test it out. Like there's a lot of stuff on there that you can get for free, a lot of Audible exclusives. But what I really like about Audible is that out of the hundreds and thousands of audiobooks that they have, if you decide to purchase something, that is yours forever. Like if you decide not to carry on your subscription or you want to take a break or whatever it is, you can always go back and listen to that book whenever you want through the app on the internet. Doesn't matter because it's yours. So once again, you can get that for 30 days for free on us if you go to audibletrial.com/JATG.
We should be up and running. Johnny and the Greg, Merry Christmas, everybody. How are we doing?
Yay!
Yay!
It's Christmas time.
Merry Christmas out there to you, all of our listeners. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Anything else I'm missing?
Oh, I see. Merry Christmas, Hanukkah. Yeah.
Is it Saturnalia or Yule?
Sure,
Yule just happened.
I will go
Yule
with
just happened. So
I will go with what you just said. Sure.
Cool Yule to everybody.
And Festival of Lights, so Diwali.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Everybody out there, have a great end of the year.
Have a great non-denominational seasonal holiday to you, John.
Thanks. All right, enough of that bullshit. I'm glad you guys are on. Greg, I think this has slowly become one of our favorite episodes to run each year.
Yeah, it's fun.
Tina, welcome. This is your first one. So everybody, if you have a drink, cheers, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. I don't think we'll get together before the New Year, I'm assuming.
I don't think so.
Nope.
So there you go.
The end of season 6 of Johnny and the Greg podcast.
Yeah, God, 6 seasons. That's crazy.
So
yeah.
I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Sure. Tina, have you finished your holiday shopping?
Kind of.
Okay.
I still have to get a couple more gift cards, kind of a thing,
Okay. So are you a late Christmas shopper? Like, do you wait like the week before Christmas type thing, and you're fighting the crowds and all that stuff?
It depends. It depends on what it is.
Okay.
I'll start shopping probably like a month early. I'll already start, because if I have to order stuff online, I want to make sure it gets here before, so I have enough time to wrap things.
That is a whole new world now. The online shopping. Hopefully, the presents get there by Christmas. So that's a whole new thing.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Greg, I was just going to ask you, are you done Christmas shopping? Are you good?
Done Christmas shopping? Yes.
There's a birthday that falls in there somewhere?
No.
Oh,
but not like we were saying with free and stuff like that. Like, not everything is. So we're crossing our fingers that everything can get here on time. Did I freeze?
Yeah, you've been freezing but that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. No, I was just saying we're just waiting for everything to get delivered. Like there's those last minute items. Like,
got it.
I think Amazon stuff is here.
Okay.
But there's a couple other different sites that we tried to go through. And it's just a wait and see. It's not like it's a Prime service or anything like that. So
yeah, I think for the first time ever, I have one final gift to go out and get, and it's something very small. It's like a gift card, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
But other than that, I am officially done. Did
you send out Christmas cards?
Did I?
Yes.
We've made them. I'm not sure they're going to get to for those of you on our Christmas card list, you're probably going to get it on I'm assuming between Christmas and New Year's.
Got it.
Because I have actually not been, usually my whole job of that is to get the addresses that my beautiful wife does not have. And then from that point on, my next step is I get a big bag of envelopes that I have to mail out. I haven't gotten those envelopes yet, so we'll see.
Mm.
Unless Ursula did it without me. I don't know.
And I don't do Christmas cards. We've never done Christmas
I
cards.
don't think you should ever do it. I think it
Well,
sets this standard where you have to do it now every year.
I
yeah.
mean, listen, I have a bunch of most of my clients, and not most of my cards are from clients.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
And my girl Valerie at work, she like gives it to everybody. And I just like having it to see the progression of like the kids in each
Yeah.
card, because every year no, this is my second time being on the Christmas one, because I was on it last year because
Yeah.
we talked about this.
Oh, okay.
Because I said I have like a stack of um Christmas cards from every year that I just
Hmm.
put together, because you, Johnny, throw them out. You're like, I'm done. Done. Like,
Yes.
you're just like, fuck this shit. It's gone. It's going in the fireplace.
Okay. All right.
This
Time
is
out.
my
Time out.
second
Time
one.
out. Time out. Time out. Not. I don't say fuck this shit.
I mean, I'm putting my own spin on it, but you
Yeah.
know.
I don't. But I am not a sentimental person like with things like that. So I will just,
Toss it.
oh, that's sweet garbage. So yeah. You know what though?
Yeah.
That's I didn't used to be like that. Lately with my daughter Gwen, she tends to keep every little thing in the world. I
Okay.
think she's going to be a hoarder when she grows up. And I'm I'm just like, let's get rid of all of it. Like I don't need all that. And I just
Right.
went through a house cleaning of my father and the stuff he collected from the 70s that he never
Correct. Yeah.
used again in after the 70s. It was like I gotta clean all this stuff out. I never want to put my daughter through this, or I never want to go through this. So I'm a
Right.
little
So
jaded right now.
I'm hitting a medium between the two of you.
Okay.
So like we have a box that is a decorative Christmas box. Like it doesn't store anything. There's nothing. It goes in the basement. It's part of our Christmas decorations. I've started putting Christmas cards for people that send us like a picture.
Mhm.
Like if your Christmas card is just a Christmas card, like, from so and so, I trash it. I don't hang on to that one. But if it's got pictures to it and it's from an actual person that we know, like I'm not keeping the card from like your insurance company or the 401k company or something like
Right.
that. I'm not doing that.
Right.
I put it in that Christmas box, and that's where it goes.
So you keep that in a Christmas box for how long?
I don't know, like until eventually I get to I mean, I'm just looking at it now. It's a pretty big box. And
Okay.
so like I could be putting Christmas cards in there from now until I'm 80, and that box isn't going to be full.
Mm.
And part of it is like, yeah, do we throw it out at some point, or do I just, that's my kid's problem.
So you're saying you
But
have every single one of my Christmas cards?
No, because I haven't always done this. Like it's
Oh,
just
okay,
something
okay.
it's something that I think the past 2 years,
Okay.
like, because we had this thing where you like hang the Christmas cards and like everybody can
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
Mhm.
and that would go in the basement, and then next year it comes up and all like last year's Christmas cards are still on it, and I'm
Mhm.
like, well, what do I do with them now? So I think at one point I just said, well, I'm going to take them off and I'll just put them in this box for now because I don't know what to do with them. A couple of years later, I'm just like, you know what? They're just going to go in that box for now. And then at some point they will, well, they got to get thrown out. I mean, they're just shutterfly print offs.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me
stuff
wrong.
like
We have them up for the Christmas season.
Well,
After
sure.
that,
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
that, we throw them out. But
We just never got in the habit. I think because when I got married, we were like poor college kids,
Yeah.
and the idea of how much is it to spend to get stuff printed or make a Christmas card, and
I
then you
don't
got to
know.
stamp all of them and all that stuff. We were on such a shoestring budget. We just
Yeah.
never decided to
Well, it's either that,
go down
Greg,
that route.
or it's getting your wife a Christmas gift that year.
Well,
It's like,
exactly.
yeah,
And my wife will be like, well, maybe we'll do the Christmas cards. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, honestly, with social media now, like if people really, it used to be like you'd send out a letter that would catch everybody up on how your year is going.
That's
Mhm.
true. Yeah.
And it was a nice way for people that you don't see nearly enough to be like, well, what are they doing?
Mhm.
It was kind of cool. We had a friend from Texas that would still do that. But now, I mean, if you're on social media and if you follow each other, and people are active, like I know what their kids are doing because you kind of see it. So it kind of
Mhm.
defeats the
Right.
purpose of the Christmas card a little bit.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's fun to get actual mail. Be like, hey, look at this.
It's not a bill.
Yeah, it's not a bill. Something nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
So we can go one of two ways. Do you guys want to go negative Christmas or do you guys want to go positive Christmas?
well, John, it's Christmas. It's a little bit of both. It's the holiday
Yeah,
seasons.
So which one do you want to, what road do you want to go down first then?
I don't care.
Tina?
Let's end on a positive note. So let's
Okay.
start with the
Okay.
All right, Tina, give me your Christmas. This is your opportunity right now to vent something that drives you nuts about the holidays. Because we all have it. As adults, what you realize is there are some things in this world during the holidays that kind of make Christmas a bummer in some areas. I'm not saying overall. There are
Yeah.
just some things that make you want to grind your teeth. Or what's the thing that Peter Griffin used to say? Grind my
Grind
gears.
my gears.
Yes,
Yeah.
grind
Grind
my
my gears.
gears. Yeah. So Tina, the floor is yours. You got something? Don't try not to be personal.
No,
Don't
I'm
bring
just
up something
thinking
your
which
mom
way,
did.
Yeah.
which way well, yeah, my mom's gone, so I can talk
Oh,
about
sorry.
her all.
Oh yeah, go for
No,
it then if you want to. No, I'm kidding.
no, okay. I went to go get a gift card, right? And it's a nice jewelry place. And I walk in and there's like a line of people, whatever. And the lady's like, hi, like, how can I help you? I was like, oh, I just need to get a gift card. She's like, okay, what's your name? And I'm like, Tina. She's like, okay, I'll let you know how long the wait is. I'm like, for a gift card? Like, I don't need anything. I don't need to look at anything. I just want to hand you my money. You give me back a little piece of plastic and I go on my way.
Mhm.
Well, the wait time is, there's like 7 people ahead of you. And I'm like, all I need is a gift card. I'm literally not looking for anything else. So they didn't get my money, let me tell you. Because I'm
Ah,
like, I don't, that one irked me. But it's more of how people, okay, it's gonna be, and as I just said, that I'm not waiting in line, but I'm not like yelling at her or anything. I just didn't have enough time to wait for the time that they were giving me, right?
mhm.
If I had the time to wait, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna wait. But I had other places I had to go. I had to be at a certain time. I just thought I can go in and get a gift card. But people who are in the parking lot and get pissed off over the spots because they didn't get the first spot or they're like waiting to get into the spot or whatever. It's like, dude, literally go down 10 more spots and walk your fat ass up. I'm sorry, because obviously you guys have a problem. Like something is happening. And I don't mean it that way, but I'm like, you guys really are going to wait here. You'd rather wait for that spot up front for 5-7 minutes versus literally just parking just a little bit longer and walking up. If you need somebody that needs some help, drop them off at the front, go park the car and go and whatever, but they're blocking the drive, they're blocking the park. That one is probably my
So
most
Christmas
irritating.
traffic.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
oh.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
Greg?
I came up with a couple.
Okay.
So I'm one of these people, like I don't get new clothes that often. Like this Christmas sweater, I think I've had for 5 or 6 years, maybe.
We can only
Like,
see from the collar up. So what is it?
It's a nice little.
Oh, Darth Vader. Okay. Got it.
Yep, it's a Merry Sithmas
Okay.
Christmas sweater. So this is especially true at Christmas, but I think at any other time of the year as well. Like we go out and we buy new clothes to see people. Like if you go into the company Christmas party, or
Got it.
so we go out and we got to get new clothes for the kids. We got to get new clothes for ourselves. Most of the people we're going to see haven't even seen our old clothes to know that they're old clothes, but we still have to go buy new clothes. I don't get that. I don't get that. I mean, that expectation of like, well, you got to get a new shirt or a new shirt and tie. And I'm like, we got 50 shirt and ties they haven't seen yet. Like, why do I need to get new stuff? So that's one thing.
Because they've been following you on Facebook and they've already seen it in the pictures on Facebook. So they can't see it on the
That's true.
social media.
That could be. That could be. The other thing, and this has to do with a little bit of like retail stores, uh, coupons in sales. If you're telling me that you can sell that thing for a few bucks cheaper, but you're not going to unless I have this tiny slip of paper that or I've scanned that code, why? like why can't I get the sale unless I scan it in or have my little thing that you sent in the mail? That's dumb. You're telling me that you're literally like cock blocking me from the sale on Pepsi because I didn't bring my stupid coupon in.
Well, oh, not only that. Okay, let's just talk about Pepsi, what you were saying there. I'm going to piggyback a little bit. Okay, so I'm assuming you went to a store and it was supposed to be on sale. At that store you went to, Greg, do you have a card that makes you
club
an
card?
official? Yes, a club
Yes.
card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The coupon should be automatically directed to that. Like if you are a card carrying member.
Why do I need to take an extra
Correct.
step?
Yes.
For you to do that.
Especially since they want your email, they want your address, like they want all this information so you can be a club card going member.
Did you clip the virtual
Yes.
coupon? I'm like, you have my phone number that I put in every time. Like, why do I need to do another step?
Exactly.
So,
I'm
and I know
with you on
I just don't understand. Like, if a company can sell something for cheaper and they're going to say we're going to do it for this time of a year or these 2 weeks, you can get something for cheaper. Do it all the time. Like, what's the big deal? I mean, do you think that extra 50 cents that I'm going to save on cinnamon rolls is going to make or break your profit margin? I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. That's a good one. Cousin Clay here says that he hates seeing Greg in old clothes. It's so nasty. Merry Christmas, Cousin Clay.
I did look at the chat for a little bit. Thanks, Clay.
Yeah. Yeah, like I Cousin Clay, I believe Dick's the Sporting Goods insider card that's automatically attaches to all types of coupons that you would get in the mail.
John, say that again faster.
Dick's insider card.
You get it now? it's the Dick's insider card.
Yeah.
So hold on, I do have a one story about Dick's. This was going back when I was teaching middle school.
Wait, the actual Oregon, or are we talking about the store?
No, the store, the sporting goods
store. Got it. Go.
Called Dick's, and they just had opened one in the same area. And this 8th grade girl, very naive, very cute, but she was just like, she's like, I love Dick's. We're like, I want to say that again. She's like, why? I love Dick's. Like, what's wrong with saying I love that? I love that place. Like, I love going to Dick's. Like, Dick's is awesome. And she just kept saying it. And I'm like, oh, stop. Will you please stop? Because every guy is just, I mean, it's an 8th grade boy. So, or 8th grade boys. They're just trying to fire him at her to just get her to say she loves Dick's over and over and over again. And I'm like, I'm going to make you stop talking now. Because what you don't understand, and I had to, so what you're saying can be taken in a lewd context. And she's
Does
like,
she really not understand that as she's an 8th grader as well?
This girl, no.
No.
This girl, bless her heart, no.
Okay.
And so yeah, I was like, and then finally when she got it, she was like, no, gross. I'm like, that's why I forgot to stop talking. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then I got home and laughed about it. So
good old.
Okay, John, what makes you mad?
This probably makes everybody mad. The family politicking.
Oh yeah.
Having to make somebody happy over something so silly like my stuffing versus somebody else's stuffing. That's usually that's also can be a Thanksgiving thing, but or just the whole we don't do it like this at our house.
Yeah.
That's cool. You're not at your house. You're here. Or this is what's becoming the thing at my place is everybody now, the kids that built these great memories, and I'm talking about when I was a kid and with my sisters, nobody wants to host Christmas anymore.
Right.
Nobody wants to host it. So
because it's a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass, but I don't know. I see how my daughter is about it, and I kind of think it's worth it. I mean, it's just a little.
So you're hosting again this year, is what you're saying?
No, actually, we're not. We had no, we're in the clear this year. We're in the clear this year.
Okay.
But here's the kicker: my wife is still preparing the house that no one's going to walk into, like we're hosting.
Should I come down tomorrow just to make her
Just
feel
to look
better?
around. No, you'd mortify her now. Like if you were to do it Christmas Day, then yeah, she'd be all
Okay.
for it. She'd be ready to go. But so I guys, we all know what I'm talking about. Like
Well,
Chris,
and I
the politics is just horrendous, and it
I got a
drags
good
you
politics
down.
for I got one. Greg, you talk, and then I'm gonna say
well,
something. 'Cause
I bring it up every year, like for 17 years, 18 years, our holidays, like our Christmas, our Thanksgivings, like this holiday season was spent like whose house do we go to? As in, like, do we travel down to my hometown and satisfy those family politics, or do we travel to my wife's family to save those family politics? And it got to a point where my kids were having a conversation, and I was like, "Hey, let's talk about holiday traditions. Like, what's your favorite?" And this was about Christmas. I said, "What was your favorite? What's your favorite Christmas tradition that we have?" And they're like, "We don't have any." I was like, what do you mean we don't have any?" They're like, "Our Christmas tradition is to pack up our duffel bags and go sleep at somebody else's house. We may or may not take our gifts with us to open on Christmas morning, but we're always somewhere else. Or if we are at home, it is we got to get all these things done quickly so that we can go to someone else's house." And I was like, and I went, "Oh shit." Like that. And so yeah, I have drawn a line in the sand. I'm like, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we are at my house. Like it is my family. I'm keeping it to us.
Hmm.
And if we choose as a family to go spend it with other people, that is our choice to go spend it with other people. We're not doing we really need you to be at this place. No,
Right,
no.
right,
I mean, if we want to, we will, but you're not pulling family politics on us.
right. Good for
So
you. Good for you taking a stand.
it's
I'm sure that's worked
it's
out.
hard. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not easy. I mean, you
No.
get talked to by everybody, and you're like,
Yes.
I'm
You get
sorry.
that little. You get that little. Greg, can I talk to you for a second here?
Well, they're like, really, you're not, because you were home. You were home
Yeah.
last year. Are you really going to stay home this year? Yes, I am.
I mean, that's just not really fair for everybody else, Greg. I
Well,
mean,
especially
Christmas is about giving.
yeah, Christmas is about family. You're absolutely right, and it's
and
about, and I'm gonna spend it with mine, and
yeah,
I will, weekend like this year, weekend before, weekend after, we're spending it with extended family, but and that's the other thing, some families, they don't understand extended family means you're now extended family. Like if you don't live in my house, and
Yeah, your extended family.
that is now
Absolutely.
extended family.
Yes. Go ahead,
So,
Tina.
my sister and I had a conversation a few weeks ago. Yeah, right after Thanksgiving, because for Thanksgiving I would always host. Like I love cooking for the holidays. I don't need to be a part of everybody's playing games or whatever. I like to be in the kitchen cooking, watching everybody else have a good time because that's what makes me happy, right?
Okay.
And for the last quite few years, because I've been with Nick, I'm always at his family's,
Mm,
always.
okay.
And my sister brought it up a few weeks ago, and she's like, I miss you hosting Thanksgiving. And I was like, well, Nick's mom's 83.
hmm,
I'm not going to try and take anything. At the same time, she doesn't actually spend the time with us. She's in her other room, she's on her computer. There's like a dynamic in the house that you just have to be at the house. And I brought it up to him.
yeah,
I said, like, I'm sorry, but like Christmas and Thanksgiving, it's not the same for me anymore. And he's like, I know you're not as happy. No, I'm not, because I love your family. I love but like, what happened to mine? What
Hmm.
happened to what I used to do? My bacon wrapped turkey, me making my homemade bread, for my own
hmm,
stuffing, the things that I really, really love, but I've basically gotten rid of it because of your family. Now, granted, I have my sister and my son. That is my
hmm,
family. So, like, I always compromise because it's a lot easier for me just to be one person to go somewhere else
Yeah.
hmm.
versus, I
But
mean, not, yeah.
that's how we got started and
The
hooked
home.
into this
Right.
my brother had kids before most of mine. Like his youngest is the same age as my oldest. So it
Mhm.
was always, well, it's easier for Kurt to be there. And can you just travel home? And at the time, we're like, yeah, sure. But then when all of a sudden it wasn't easier because we had the same amount of kids, or we had, everybody's got little kids. It was still, can you come down for this reason or that reason?
Right.
And I did my time. Like I did it for a long time, and now I'm like, no, not doing it anymore.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I told Nick last week, I'm like, I want Christmas Eve at my house. I mean, Christmas or at least some part of it, right? But we go to
Mhm.
his ex-mother-in-law's, who's amazing. I love her. She's great. It's the kid's grandma on the mom's side, right? We go to his sister's. I've missed most of Christmas Eves because I was always working. This is the
Oh,
very first Christmas
oh,
Eve that
sure.
I've been
Yeah.
off in 20 years. Like I've always worked Christmas
Hmm.
Eve. And so, like, Johnny, you've seen my place. I don't have the space
Hmm.
realistically to host that
A
many people,
bunch of
right?
people. Yeah.
Right.
So, like, it's fine. But at the same time, like, I really don't want to host everybody. I want to have my boyfriend and his kids and my son, my sister in my house. That we can handle. And so that's what's going to happen this Christmas Eve. They're going to
Oh,
come over super early in the morning. We're going to open up some gifts. We're going to go, go to the to Nana's house. We're going to go over to his sister's house. And then Christmas Day, my sister is going to be sleeping over at my house for the first time. Like we're going to be waking up on Christmas morning for the first time in since I was like 18, 17. Like we haven't done that in so many years. That's what I miss. I miss being able to like get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, start making some cinnamon rolls, start making some food. I like that, you know?
Hmm.
And that was my tradition. And she brought it up to me. She's like, we haven't done it. And when I went to therapy, I gave them my biscotti. And
Hmm.
she's like, you really like cooking, don't you? I'm like, I love it. And that's when like whatever I was saying before didn't matter. And she's like, oh, so cooking really makes you. I was like, oh my
Hmm.
God. Like I love doing that for people. Just having them do it. I don't need to be a part of anything. Let me be in the kitchen watching you
Hmm.
guys have fun. And it hasn't happened in quite a few years. So
Greg's the
that's my
same way
goal.
with cooking. Greg really enjoys cooking.
I Yes,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Right.
There are individuals that I know if I cook for them, they're gonna find something to be like, well, I don't do it like that. And so, there's that. Like John, when you and Ursula come up, and I love cooking for them. That's just fun. Cooking for friends is a lot of fun. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I used to
Yeah.
do bacon wrapped turkeys for
That sounds
Thanksgiving.
amazing, by the way. Your bacon wrapped turkey. That sounds
Did
amazing.
you wrap the whole thing, or is it
I'll
just like a
send you
turkey breast?
I'll send you a picture. No,
Yeah.
I perfected it over the course of like 6 years where my so I told my stepdad a long time ago, I was like, let me just do the freaking turkey because it's so dry every time you guys do it. It's so bad.
Hmm.
The very first turkey that I did was a lemon and herb injected turkey
Yeah.
that I actually put lemon underneath the skin as well.
Uh-huh.
Garlic butter. It came out, and my stepdad's like, so you're doing the turkey every year now, right? And I'm like, exactly, right? So with the bacon wrapped one, I would lattice the bacon, so that would
So
go
you,
on
you do the
top.
braid. Yeah.
Yeah. And then underneath, I would take like a garlic and herb, I would make a garlic and herb compound butter. And then I would literally
Uh,
slice and inject it
uh-huh.
into the breast, right?
Yeah.
And then I would chop up some more bacon into the rest of the butter, and then I would layer that underneath the skin and over the skin. But then I
Okay.
realized it was gonna get too greasy because the bacon wouldn't stay on top. So I stopped
Right.
doing it on top, just did it underneath the skin, put the bacon over it. I will send you pictures.
Yeah.
It's great.
Sounds
And then
sounds
I was like,
delicious.
I
I would I
had,
would be up since like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and dinner
yeah.
would be at like 6. And I'm like, that's fine. I
Last year I
make my
did it.
own rolls, and my sister's allergic to nuts, so I made a sweet potato casserole, but I did it with a salted caramel and pretzel topping
Hmm.
instead of like the marshmallows and all that kind of
Sure.
stuff. So I loved it.
Last year I did, my family came up because I'm like, we're not coming down, but if you guys want to come up the Saturday before, I'm here. And I smoked a brisket. So I was up at 3:30 in the morning, like
Mhm.
prepping the brisket, getting it ready, and then it's just the smoke, which it's smoked for 12 hours. And my dad, like, I'm at 1 or 2 when they're here, and I'm getting drowsy because we're just watching football, and it wasn't a team I cared about at the time. And dad's like, "Is that all you're gonna do? Is take a nap?" And I'm like, Dad, I was up at 3:30 cooking for you today. You got to cut me a break.
Yeah.
But I want to take a second to recognize this. Cousin Clay, yes, I do miss the days of just hiding out and playing video games away from all the family drama.
Sega.
Yeah,
Oh my God, I miss Sega.
we would sneak up and either his room or kind of our side room that we had the video games set up in
And
my
just
dad's
kind
man
of,
cave.
just kind of,
Yeah, we would just be like, "What's next?" Because I don't want to go downstairs.
All right. Well, I think we got our vents out. I think we're good.
A
I
little
think we
bit,
feel a
little
little
bit.
bit better. A little bit better. Um, this is something that I think we've done a couple of times. To me, it's just always something that it's like we've talked about all the things that we have to um, get through for the holidays. What's the one
Mm-hmm.
thing that makes it the holidays? Like,
Mm-hmm.
is there that one little tradition? And that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for oh, it's just, seeing, everybody get together. I'm not looking for that. That's obvious. I'm looking for a
Mm-hmm.
small little detail in both of your lives where it's Christmas.
I know mine.
Go for
Go
it,
ahead.
Tina.
It's my biscotti.
Biscotti? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My
Okay.
my my cookies. The
Yeah, it
clients
is that time of
order.
year. I get my haircut and I get my biscotti, which,
Yep.
by the way, I hate. I'm going to give you a little confession. I ate every single one on the ride home.
You didn't share.
I didn't share a damn biscotti with anybody, and I
That's
feel great about that. By the way, so
which one did you like the most?
give me the choices again.
Um, double chocolate, white chocolate, cranberry, and cinnamon vanilla.
White chocolate cranberry.
Yes, Greg. Yes, Greg. I'll save some for you. When are you gonna come down?
I don't know.
Mm.
It's a good question.
Friday. Come down Friday.
Tina, if the haircut thing never pans out the way you want it to go, or it goes in a different direction, you do have some sort of an avenue with this biscotti stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I love
In
it.
fact, I
I
know
made
two
sugar.
podcasters that would advertise it.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
TJ said that I need to open up a bakery, and I have no culinary, background
A
in
lot of
any
people
type
don't.
of,
I mean, that's fine.
whatever. So it's like I would love to go into that. I love making bread. I
there you
love
go.
that kind of, whatever.
Mhm.
I made sugar cookies, like from scratch sugar cookies, and I iced them. The icing was not from scratch. Let me just point
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah.
But I brought it to the Christmas party last night, and the girls were like, "They look like they're store bought." I'm like, "They're not." I love it. I that all my clients know. They're like, "So when are your cookies coming?" The kids get excited, and I always look for like some sort of, how can I improve it, right? So I've been improving it the last couple of years. Like I have a system down. I know, and I can't fuck with the system because when I
That's
did, it didn't come out right.
My mom makes Brotzli's. Have you had those? It's the really thin cookie that's got like a design on it. Almost looks like an Aztec sundial, but it's not. Have you seen those?
No.
Am I the only one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a Brotzli press. You put the dough in there, you press it
I
down.
was
But
gonna
she
say
does
it's like,
one.
okay.
She does one. She puts amaretto in it, and yeah, I could eat those like by the case.
By
Like,
the case.
and it's you cheat yourself. You're like, well, it's just a thin little one.
Yeah.
Not when you have 40 of them, but
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg,
I was trying to,
you want me to go give you
well,
more
no, I
time?
think because I've the last couple of years have done the stay home, and I'm trying to create things with my immediate family. Like, what are our traditions?
Uh-huh.
Christmas Eve, like we sit around and we watch movies, and it's like, Die Hard will usually come in there, although sometimes I think my kids are getting sick of that one.
That's
Krampus,
one of my sister's favorite.
Christmas with the Cranks is a family favorite of ours.
Okay, time out.
Um,
I've seen the trailer for that. Is that
Yeah.
good?
It really is. Yes.
Is
You
it?
see,
Okay, I've
I
seen
was
the trailer and I'm like, fuck no.
I was a latecomer to that movie for sure,
Okay.
because like the Tim Allen Christmas movie. I'm like, what is this kind of weird knockoff? And
Oh,
it's
Santa Claus?
no, this
No,
is called
No.
Christmas
Christmas
with
with
the
the
Crank.
Cranks.
The story is like this guy's daughter is in college and she decides for winter break or for Christmas break, she's going to go to South America to work like a Peace Corps project or something like that. And he and his wife, they live on like what if I say Candy Cane Lane neighborhood where everybody does like this
Mhm.
big event and they were the champs of it. And so they're like, you know what? Why don't we not do that this year? Our daughter's not coming home. We don't, let's just kind of skip Christmas. And his wife's like, what are you talking about? His wife's played by Jamie Lee Curtis, who kills it in that movie. She's like, what are you talking about? Skip Christmas. We can't do that.
When
He's like,
doesn't she kill it?
I know she's good and everything.
She is.
Literally, she's
But
amazing.
she's like, what? We can't do that. He's like, yes, we can. Think how freeing this will be. And so they go through skipping Christmas. And then like, I don't know if it's midway through the film or whatever it is, the daughter's like, guess what? I'm coming home. And they're like, oh my God. And they have to quickly scramble to get to the Christmas level they want to be at. And it's entertaining in that kind of like it feels like a Home Alone era Christmas film, but it was made probably 10, 15 years later. But the ending gets me every time.
Oh,
Like
does
when the
it?
daughter
Okay.
show, yeah. And I don't want to ruin it for you, but there's a scene where Tim Allen has this interaction with his neighbors, and I was just like, oh, oh man, this is a Christmas spirit right here. I mean, it just gets you. And
Wow.
so yeah, it's worth a watch.
Okay. All right. I've said this a couple of times on this podcast. It's my personal silly thing that I've done since I've been 6 years old, where I would lay underneath the Christmas tree and look up.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
I always remember there was this one special that I just showed Gwen this year, where with Disney, where Mickey and Pluto chop down a tree,
Mhm.
and they don't know that it's Chip and Dale's tree that they live in.
Oh, right. Yep.
And so they put it there and they decorate it. And I just remember Chip and Dale walking out of their like little hole, and they walk out on the branches, and it's lights and it's ornaments, and it looks like this magical land. One of my favorite commercials is the Santa packs are coming, Santa, because I feel like everybody in the world, everybody, I don't care if you celebrate Christmas or not, you should put lights on your trees for this time of year. I don't know why. I love it. It feels magical.
Mhm.
I just it's the little kid in me, but um I I want to be like Chip and Dale, I guess. A little part of me that just wants to be in Chip and Dale, where I go on. Oh God, came out wrong. I want to be Chip and
Listen,
Dale.
you could be Chip, you could be Dale. I could,
Yeah.
I could
But
watch.
it's just that
He's
lane
wanted
underneath
that
the
since
tree.
college.
Yeah, that lane underneath the tree and looking straight up. I've done it every year except this year so far, and
And you still
it's
got time.
You know,
yeah, it just brings me back to I guess a real simpler time when I was a kid.
what's interesting, and I heard this statistic today because we did our Christmas service today. My church, that's the one we go to. That less than 30% of people in the US right now actually count themselves to be Christian, which is kind of the origins of the holiday, you know.
Right.
But 90%
Celebrate
of
Christmas.
celebrate Christmas.
Hmm.
And that's really interesting.
That is interesting.
I
That
mean,
is interesting.
you don't see that in any other religious holiday for anything where
Yeah.
but like 90% of people will celebrate Christmas. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. But lately the new one that I have with my daughter is we prepare the cookies for Santa. That's the new
Sure.
that's the new
Mhm.
thing. So I mean, the way she gets into that is, I mean, like it is as important as Santa is to kids at that age.
Mhm.
This is all that matters. Like we got to get this right, because if we don't get this right, like her favorite guest that comes there once a year will be pissed off or something
Yeah.
like that. So she's written letters, she made him a necklace, all
Mhm.
this stuff.
It's interesting. We've had the Santa conversation a couple times
Yes.
on this show. And here's if anybody at home right now has children that are listening that are
Of age.
are full Santa game
Yep.
time, can't wait for them to get here. Skip ahead a bit, okay? That when as soon as your kids get old enough that they're not in the Santa phase anymore. And I've heard this once they move past Santa, they actually become Santa.
Stop it. That's what I was
In
gonna
that
say.
in that they become part of the magic, part of the mysticism, part
Yeah.
of the they're now part of the great game that is for the kids that are
Yeah.
waiting for Santa to show up. Like
I think that's
they,
beautiful. I
they
think
and
that's
I
beautiful.
and I thought that was great. I mean,
Yeah, I do too. I think that's
I think
great.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So let me piggyback off of that. TJ, for many years, we would put out reindeer food, and it had sparkles in it, and we'd put it
Mhm.
outside. And then what I would do is in the middle of the night while he was sleeping, and I mean, I'm telling you, he was like 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember one night, we forgot to put out the carrots for
Oh,
for
sure.
the reindeer. But it was a year that didn't snow, so there was
Mhm.
still like leaves on the ground. So what I did in my very old apartment was I took some of the leaves and I had them like trekking through my apartment, going
Uh,
into the kitchen, and then having like I opened up the bag of the carrots in the refrigerator, chewed on some of them, had some of them on the ground, had some of them on like in it was like they came in,
Yeah.
found where the freaking carrots were, and ate them out of our refrigerator. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
So I wake up TJ and I'm like, Papa, what what is this? And he comes out, he's like, what happened? I was like, oh, we forgot the reindeer food. And they went into the refrigerator. So last year was the year that TJ finally admitted to me that he
He
doesn't
admitted.
believe in
He
Santa, right?
admitted. Yeah.
he's like, hey, mom.
Well, we were having dinner,
I hate to
and
break this to you, Mom.
right, literally in that voice. Listen, Mom, I know I have a mustache that looks better than yours, but
Nice.
so we were sitting at dinner and I was like, you still, you still believe Santa, right? And he looked at me and he's literally like this eating his food and he's like,
What do I do here?
it broke my heart
Yeah.
a little bit because I was like, wait, you you don't
Well, that's
you know
such a
Santa still.
symbol. That's such a symbol for
Mhm.
where he's like the elevation.
It's
Like,
he's grown up.
yeah,
That's
he's
Yeah.
part of
growing
it.
up, and it's like
And
this. It's like the last bit of childhood that you had with him,
yeah.
gone,
Yeah.
gone.
And
Yeah.
so when he said that, I was like, okay, well, how long have you known? He's like, a little bit. And so he kept making me believe that he believed because he knew how much it meant to me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like he'd always look for the present that Santa hides in the tree. There's always one magical one, there was it
Right.
was it was awesome like that. So I told him exactly what Greg said. I was like, okay, well, I guess I can, tell you that there's always been a Santa. It's just not a big fat guy that's in, a suit that comes down a chimney or underneath the door. It's people. And they're all around you all year long.
Mhm.
And I'm like, now you get to be a Santa. Now you get to be that person for somebody else. So that's how
Oh God,
that's
you're
And
starting to
we
cry. You're
and
starting to
we
cry.
I
yeah.
I missed
No.
that part of parenting. Like we made a decision to not do the big jolly man in our house.
Hmm.
Um for faith-based reasons, but I do miss being able to deliver that kind of level of whimsy to my kids because yeah, I would have been all over that. I would have been eating carrots out of the fridge at
It was
4 in the morning. I mean that yeah, I totally would have been
I mean,
doing that. And my
and
wife
what about
didn't. My wife never had it. I had it a little bit where, you know, Santa didn't bring the best gifts, but he brought okay stuff. It was like that's the stuff Santa brought, and then here's the big stuff that mom and dad got.
because
So
I'm the one that worked hard.
yeah,
I'm the
yeah,
one that's going to give you the stuff that actually means something because
yeah,
yeah, Santa's going to get you something. Santa's
yeah.
going to
He
whatever, but
did.
like I worked really hard so that you could have all this.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would always give him one big gift a year. And I remember when my van broke down and it was literally 2 weeks before Christmas, and that was $2,000 that I had to fix my van
Mm-hmm.
because my transmission went out. And I wanted to get him the Switch that year. And I told him, I was like, Baba, I can't get you what I really want,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna get it. So I kept the tree up until end of January. And because that's when I was able to get the Switch.
Yeah.
And there was a present still left underneath that tree. And he comes home from school and he's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "Tell me,"
Yeah.
And then
Check
that
it
was
out.
it. Right. And so like the other thing is the Easter Bunny, just really quickly. I, for a very long time, did not allow him to eat more than just one piece of candy a day. And you
Mhm.
couldn't bank it. You couldn't be like, I didn't eat it for 7 days, so I get seven today. No. Either you do it or you lose it, whatever. Okay. And so when the Easter Bunny would come around, I I would get really mad that the Easter Bunny left all of this candy that was usually from Halloween because I wasn't gonna do that shit, right? And so one year I was like, "What the? I'm gonna turn him into rabbit soup. What is with all of it? You have another egg? You have another egg?" Because I put so many out,
Mhm.
and then there was a year where the Easter Bunny would leave notes too, and the one year was a big golden egg and it had $20 in it with a note from the Easter Bunny saying, "I'm not pissing off your mom this year. Here's $20. Have a good day." That was the last year that we
Oh,
put
Yeah.
I put
did
any
you
type of
did you guys know that Christmas was not a big deal until like the 19th century?
dude, you're gonna take my fun facts away?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
was
I'm
just gonna
sorry.
transition. I was just gonna
I'll
transition
I'll
to
leave it at
Tina's
that.
facts.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay.
What
He can do that fact. I got
did
other
you
ones.
was that one of yours? I
That
was a
it
little
wasn't
shocked.
yeah, 1835 was when it was like officially like the first state was a lot like in the United States.
Yeah.
And then in 1890, Alabama or yeah, I think it was Alabama was the first was the last state
Yeah, that made it a
to
holiday.
But
made
wait
it
a minute,
Like,
wait. Did it first start in England?
well, yeah, so
Germany.
like
Was it
England during the 19th century, it's when people started to really celebrate it
Mhm.
as like this is a holiday or like
Yes.
Mhm.
this is a real because like even within the faith-based community, Christmas is a big deal, but like because they're like, well, Jesus is born. Well, you know what? Everybody's born. Like Jesus did the thing that everybody did. Like we
Right.
we
Mhm.
were all born.
Right.
Easter was always the big faith-based holiday because that's when the whole died and come back. No one's
Where
ever
an
done that.
actual miracle happened.
So
Yes.
yeah, so that was always like the crux. And then as soon as honestly commercialization came into it,
Yep.
that became like the big deal, and we're gonna make a big deal about this. And so I was really shocked when I was reading it
Yeah,
about
I
it.
didn't know. I didn't
Yeah,
know. I knew it was like I knew like barbarians weren't doing it. I knew that.
right.
Like,
But even
I
like first, second, third century church, like 19th century, so like that's how long it took. Like
yeah,
no, through the Dark Ages, through the Middle Ages, like none of that was really eh,
right.
wasn't a big deal
Right.
until like the American Old West. Like that was the time period when Christmas became a big deal.
Mhm.
Hmm. All right, Tina. You ready to give us some of your facts? Is this
Yeah.
a Christmas edition facts?
Yeah.
Good for you. Go.
Hey, listen. I got you. I got you. Why do we kiss under the mistletoe?
That's a joke. That is not a fact.
No, I'm literally going to tell you a fact.
Okay, sorry.
I start off my facts as jokes. I mean,
Okay.
same thing.
I
Does
don't
it
know
No.
have
why.
something to do
Why?
with it being poison?
So yeah, so what happened was that this Frigg, the goddess of love, promised to kiss anyone who passed under the berry-laden plant after it saved her son's life. It wasn't until the 18th century, however, that the Christmas custom picked up steam in England. So
Mm,
it was it was a Norse mythology. It was may have roots in Norse mythology.
yeah,
Let me
Vikings.
ask you a quick. Wait, before you move any further, did any of you, when you were dating, did any of the mistletoe ever work for any of you?
I never.
Not Krista. She doesn't count. Like Ursula
I
doesn't count.
understand.
Yeah.
I never tried because it seemed like it was unconsensual.
Oh God. Come on, you didn't think that way. Did you really think that way when you were in high school?
Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it'd be bad if
Listen,
the only way I could get a girl to kiss me was to have her stand under a special plant.
You thought it'd be bad?
I thought that would
I
be bad.
can't think of any way it would be bad to get a girl to kiss you. Plant or no plant.
Well, I also didn't think it would work.
Okay. That's
Like
that's a
I
different
think that
story.
was that's the other thing. Like, yeah, if I just went up to the girl I had a crush on and be like, "Hey," she'd be like,
Got it. Did
yeah,
"Did
it
you
work
ever
no,
for you,
do?"
Tina?
no.
I tried, didn't work.
I was gonna say,
No.
did anybody get caught? Like, have you firstly been like underneath it, and then you're like, oh shit?
So back when my parents had it,
Yes,
they
but I
would.
don't want to talk about it.
It's a safe space. You can talk about it.
Yeah, it's just us and the rest of the internet. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's just that.
Listen, my
Whatever.
boyfriend sent me this meme with a guy in his like boxer shorts with the
Yeah.
mistletoe saying "rules are rules," like just hanging it right there. It
Yeah.
was funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. No, my parents had, we would go to like parties and stuff, and I guess I don't know if it was just a game that they played or like a tradition of some sort of Hispanic world, but they didn't put it under they didn't do it in a specific doorway.
Mhm.
It was like almost like hidden in somewhere that people would pass by, but you wouldn't technically really notice. And
Oh,
then all of a
sure.
sudden,
Okay.
so it's like, oh shit, it's there. Oh, okay, now we got it. So like, no, I never even. No.
Okay. Go on with your other facts. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I got caught under it once, and it was one of those where the guy was like, "Dude," it wasn't a guy coming out; it was a girl. But I was dating somebody at the time. I was dating Krista at the time, actually. And she's like, and she's kind of coming up, and I'm looking at my friend for help. He's like, "Rules are rules," and I was like, how do I handle this? And so I gave her like the quick little like peck on
Yeah.
the cheek, and she was
Yeah.
like, no, she was going in for like open mouth kind. I was like, mm-mm. Yeah,
Wow.
it was awkward.
So she went open mouth on your cheek?
Well, she was like, I had to do like the dodge.
The
Like she came
dodge.
in, yeah, she came in with full head tilt, and I was like,
Wow.
like
Greg is just knocking him away.
had to bob and weave
Yeah.
my way past that. It was weird.
All right, Tina, go ahead.
In Japan, it's tradition for people to enjoy a Kentucky Fried Christmas. What
Yes.
started as a marketing campaign by KFC in the 1970s has evolved into a widely adopted tradition of eating a bucket of KFC chicken to celebrate Christmas. Many people even place their KFC orders well in advance to secure their Christmas chicken dinner.
Okay. I didn't know that.
And
Yeah, my daughters have been telling me that every year. They're like, Dad, can we have a Japanese trip? I'm like, you want to get KFC for? I'm kind of all for it. There's not one around here, but I'm all for it.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer almost had a different name. What would have been his name?
Clifford. Bueller. Francis.
Randolph? Instead of Rudolph?
No. Well, that would have been close. Reginald and Rollo.
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 Okay.
Oh.
Hey, Rollo, that's a Viking god of
He's
something.
a Viking king. Yeah.
Okay, Viking
Well,
king.
he was a
Okay.
French king, but he was Viking before he became French.
Got it. Okay.
Did you know that Rudolph has a cousin?
Oh God.
Yeah,
What?
his name is Clarence. You know, he's fast as Rudolph, but what is it? Oh, I fucked it up.
Yes.
He has a cousin yes, he has a cousin named Clarence the brown nose reindeer. He's as
Okay.
fast as Rudolph, but he doesn't stop as fast. It's the first time I said that one out loud, okay? You see what happens when I don't rehearse them.
Oh God, you rehearsed
I
them?
do have other really good ones, but
All right. Well, your time's coming. Your time's coming. Is that it for facts?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's it.
Greg, you got some
Yes.
polyamory?
I do. So as people may or may not have been following, I did start a Johnny and the Greg holiday playlist over on Spotify.
Ooh.
And so I was kind of looking for some different Christmas songs this year, other than the normal. And I came across this band called Millington. And John might not like this, but does you guys remember ska music?
Oh God.
Yes.
Oh God.
Ska music? Yeah. This is
Yeah.
a current ska band made of people that are not my age. They're significantly younger, but they have a Christmas album. So going back to the beginning of the show, if one of the things that you are really sick of is Christmas songs on repeat over and over and over again, then this would be the song for you, because it is all about being just sick of Christmas songs. So this is Millington, and they're I have listened to Broken Peach, Clay. They're very good. This is Millington's Play Another Christmas Song. Ready? Here we go.
Christmas song, a Christmas song. I don't want to hear another Christmas song. I try my best, but it all goes wrong. I don't want to hear another. Oh shit.
Well, this isn't bad.
Yeah,
It's like Green Day, it sounds like.
Yeah.
with horns.
Take your postcard family and keep that shit away from me. Light the logs in the fireplace on Christmas Eve and line the chimney with kerosene. Hey! Hey! So you're setting up the Christmas tree while I'm dousing it in gasoline. I'll dump the rest of Santa's beard. Yeah, I'm the black sheep of the family. Got a complex and it's Chelsea. Let's do it all again next year. It's time for Christmas.
Okay, I thought it was a much more I thought I confused, you said Scar, right?
Ska, SKA.
Okay, I confused that with Nar, that is it GWAR?
Oh, Guar.
Yeah, yes.
No, it wasn't horror.
Yeah, I
Like
thought it was. I
1980,
thought you were going that
early
direction.
80s horror metal.
Yeah, I thought you were going that direction. I'm like, this guy wants to see violence on Christmas. He
No.
has to. Like, this is something.
No, but I did think of one of my Christmas classics, Weird Al's "The Night Santa Went Crazy," which is a Christmas violence song. But yeah, and yes, it does sound a little bit like the band Bowling for Soup, who did all the music for, or a lot of the music for.
1985.
Yeah,
Such
they did a
good-
lot of the music for a Disney show called Phineas and Ferb, which is interesting because Phineas and Ferb, super family friendly. Other Bowling for Soup albums, not family friendly.
Bowling for Soup, man. I haven't heard that in like a
Yeah.
I have their CD.
They have a song called My Weena where he's talking about his girlfriend Weena, and he talks about how fun it was going out with his Weena. And it's just what you think it is.
As you do, as you do.
Yeah.
Tina, now's your
Yeah.
time. Give us some parent jokes of the month.
What do snowmen do in their free time?
I don't know.
They just chill.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yep. Okay.
How much does it cost Santa to park his sleigh?
How much?
You gotta at least try. Try and guess.
$3.95.
Ooh, very close, but no. Nothing. It's on the house.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. These are very parent jokes. Good job.
I also heard that icy is the easiest word to spell. I see why.
Yeah. Okay. You got any more there, Tina? We're losing viewers as you speak.
They're dropping off.
Dropping off all the time. No, that's it. That's that. The Santa Park one, the parking. That one's my favorite.
All right. That's out of those three. That's not bad. You're right. That's the least bad one.
Bad one. Yeah.
I will end. Oh, I forgot to do the Am I an
Christmas movies
asshole?
was my favorite.
No, am I an asshole? Am I an asshole for Christmas?
Oh,
You guys want to go through that real quick?
we can.
All right. It's Christmas. We can go a little bit more. All right. Here is Am I the Asshole? I have children ages 16, 14, 12, and 9. The 9-year-old still believes in Santa. My ex-wife and I have been divorced for 5 years. We share time on Christmas no matter whose day it is, and we alternate every other year for who has them for the Christmas wake up, for
Okay.
Santa waking up, okay? Except Santa Claus comes to my ex-wife's house whether it's her time or not. So if you haven't figured this out already, like if the kids are
Okay.
sleeping over at my house on Christmas Eve, Santa visits my house. If it's at my ex-wife, but unfortunately, I guess the wife is doing it every year, or the ex-wife's doing it every year.
Uh-huh.
I can totally see that happening. Anyway, am I the asshole here for not wanting her to do Santa when it's my year? Her excuse was she told my 9-year-old is that Santa knows they live at her house too. So not only are we now competing on Santas, but she's putting me in a position of doing Santa at my house on her year if the logic presented to my
Yeah.
9-year-old is to be preserved. I guess I could be the asshole for denying my kids 2 rounds of Santa every year, except I don't think there should be a dueling Santas. The lifestyles, shall we say, are by no means equivalent between the two houses. Okay, so we have a
that was going to be my question.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Okay, all right. Is he the asshole, Tina?
I I I don't want to go first. I want to hear what Greg says.
I'm going to say no, he's not the asshole because one, if that lifestyle difference is the same, that's one of the big gripes that I've always had with the Santa mythos anyway, is, you know, the kids whose parents are well off, Santa gives really good gifts. And in other situations where maybe not as affluent, that's not the case. And so when kids go back to school, like, hey, Santa gave me a PS5. What did he get you? And he's like snowballs and bucket game. Like,
So are you
no, it's
saying
something like that?
not everybody gets a Lexus?
No, John, they don't.
What?
So that's always been one of my overarching gripes with it's where the magic breaks down for me. But then also it breaks down if they want to keep the Santa mythos alive. Santa doesn't deliver to houses that have no children just because they're not there. He knows where they are. So he's bringing gifts to where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So really the mom is actively making the kids question. And if they're 9, you only got a couple years left anyway. So, you know, the dad could, you know, pull the ripcord early if he really wanted to and just piss off his ex-wife. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say no, he's not the asshole for having, like, this is a discussion point that they need to work out.
Yes, I agree with Greg. He's not the asshole. If you're gonna do this, you gotta communicate. And this is two adults fighting.
Yeah, this is
And it's
through the
in my
kids.
opinion, it's the wife adding extra stuff, knowing that she's pissing him off and she's hiding behind the whole idea of, well, it's Christmas and it's Santa and the 9-year-old. It's like, no, come on, you're just.
It'd be different if she was saying these are gifts from me. That's why I was like,
Yes.
is he saying that these gifts are from Santa, or is he saying that she's saying that they're from Santa, or is she
It
just
seems to
doing-
me, that these are the type of people that they don't give a gift to their kid. They say it's Santa that gave them the gifts.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me here. I don't know. That's a good question, but
That's why I was like, let me hear what you say, because I think that if she's saying these gifts are from me on Christmas, that's totally fine. Do it every year because those are your gifts. But if she's saying that it's from Santa, then yes, he's not the asshole. She's being a bitch. So
yeah. So, all right, not much more to discuss there. To end our podcast today is National Date Nut Bread Day.
Oh. Not
okay.
the way that you guys think that dates and nuts go together,
No,
No,
not that
it's
way.
the fruits. Okay.
No, I thought it was the way that. Okay,
I still don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand. Can you draw a picture? Or
I mean,
I'm much better with pictures.
Yeah.
Short
films?
Huh?
The short films?
Yes, the short films. Yes.
Yeah, I'm better in short films.
Yes. All right, man. Greg, take us out, sir.
Well, we all know where this is going because you're going to see lots of people and just live the Christmas spirit a little bit. Be a little bit more giving. You know what? Just go watch Scrooge, and you don't have to watch the whole thing. Just watch Bill Murray's rant at the end. Not even a rant, just him espousing on the spirit of Christmas. And just remember, don't be.
There you go. For Badass Tina, the Greg. This is Johnny saying Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. We'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Podcast out, everyone. Take care.
okay.
Is this the other song?
This is Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells. Jingle Bells by who, Greg?
Millington. Same group.
Good way to let it out. You turn it up?
That's as far as she goes, bud.
Take care, everyone.